Can't answer that until I stopped there and actually talked to them. They said, no, we're gonna take them. They thought they were just gonna take the first 5 down, and they took them. The public did. And so I was like, I don't know. And so I told that guy, I said, no, we're gonna take them all down. Just, that's right. Right. Like Jerry. Oh, okay. Charlotte County.
Took the median, cutting the median.
The tree down in Charlotte County, they can do like 55. They're trying to take down anything.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is now 7 o'clock. I would like to call to order the June meeting of the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Emmer, will you please lead us in an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance?
Understand. I would come to you this evening thanking you for your many blessings, for just the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
Lord, for each and every one that is here, we ask now that you would be with each one of us as leaders that were elected to do not only the will, but the best for the community. God, we ask that you would direct us in all things. Ask you to be with each and every one that's here as they travel home. We ask you to be with them also. Ones that would like to be here and can't, God, we just ask you to reach out to each and every one. We thank you for this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. As we begin, do any board members have a conflict of interest to disclose?
Yes,
Mr.
I do.
Townsend.
As a member of the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors, I, Jerry Townsend, am disclosing that I have a personal interest in the transaction under agenda item 12, appropriation of the fiscal year 27 school budget and fiscal year 27 county budget on the June 9, 2026 board agenda. My wife is an employee of the Prince Edward County Public Schools, and I am an employee of the Piedmont Regional Jail, both of which are funded by the fiscal year county budget. In accordance with section 2.2-3112B1 of the Code of Virginia, I am able to participate in the discussion and vote on this agenda item, both objectively and in the public interest, as the county budget and the school budget affects a group of more than 3 employees of the schools and the Piedmont Regional Jail. I have filed a declaration of disclosure with the clerk of the Board of Supervisors, a copy of which is available for public review.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to recognitions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Our employee of the month this month is Gail Anderson. She was unavailable this evening, so we will be recognized as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'd also like to share for the board, Dr. Pride will not be attending this evening. Her plane was delayed, so she will, Lord willing, be back with us next month. Thank you, ma'am. All right, at this time, we will move on to public participation. I will call the names as they're listed on the list. Everyone will have 2 minutes to speak. We'd invite you to come, take your time from the podium, share your name, the district that you live in, or if you're not sure about that, the road that you live on, just so we can know who your supervisor is. And to begin, I will call on Mr. Greg Phipps.
Good evening, board members. I'm Greg Phipps. I live on Persimmon Tree Fork Road. I'm here to share my concerns and voice my opposition to the data center. While this project is being framed as economic development, the environmental cost to Prince Edward County is one that we cannot afford. 30 jobs just doesn't get the damage that it's going to do to the water, to the environment, The polyalkaloids that they use for a scaling agent, even if it's a closed loop system, is it's a forever chemical. It's not going to go away. It's either going to get vaporized, fall back, and be a contaminant to our soil, or we're going to end up drinking it. The destruction of the habitat to the wildlife is not a side effect. It's permanent as well. The proposed 280-acre development will replace a lot of rural conservation land out there. I mean, I live there. I see the deer. I see the bears. I see the coyotes. They deserve a place to live too, not to be replaced with 1.5 million square feet of concrete. The constant mechanical noise and light pollution that's going to come from the generators, backup generators, the fans, the security lights, it's going to throw everything off. Those forever chemicals I earlier mentioned are known to cause thyroid, liver damage, certain cancers, results in low infertility issues, and decreased birth weight in individuals. And also, I'd like to note that I cannot find anywhere an environmental impact survey for this project. We need to rectify that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have David Ferguson.
Thank you, Board, for this time. Good evening. My name is David Ferguson. I live in Meharon, Virginia, on Meharon Road. Last month, this board held a public hearing for a 3.8 megawatt solar project. The data center proposed for our Hitt Park is 300 megawatt campus, about 80 times larger, the biggest development in this county's history, and it has no public hearing at all. Because the site is zoned by right, that may be legal, but the families and businesses next to it never got a say. I'm not against development. I'm asking the county to follow its own plan, which calls for the data center standards on noise and water that do not yet exist. By the county's own minutes, the public is committing about $25 million of infrastructure and agreeing to repay this company up to half of it. For a company that doesn't operate a single working data center anywhere on Earth, the county has never shown residents what we actually net, and the project listed water draw is up to 5.5 million gallons a day from our reservoir, plus 40% of Farmville's entire water system, a town that just closed a $1.3 million shortfall. Two questions for the record. First, our reservoir's safe yield is about 5 million gallons a day for the whole county, a prison and a hospital, and Berkeyville. This project alone is listed up to 5.5 million gallons per day. How can one reservoir supply both safely? Second, if the company never builds or walks away when the contract expires in July, what protects the taxpayers who already paid for the water, the sewer, and the roads? My ask, before the county spends another public dollar, hold a public hearing and pause the spending until the water, power, and cost questions are answered on the record. I'm also submitting written questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Michelle Shoemaker.
Tight. Hello, my name is Michelle Schumacher, and I live in the Lockett District in Rice, Virginia. I'm here to speak about the proposed data center. I've got a number of questions for this board. The county, through I assume the IDA, who is holding all of the meetings concerning the data center, has entered into consulting agreements with the Timmins Group and Deal Tech Limited. In reviewing the minutes of the IDA, I've learned that the Timmins Group not only represents the county, it represents the purchaser of that property from the county, as well as Deal Tech. I believe this is a clear conflict of interest. Can you please explain to me and the citizens of this county who exactly is looking after our interests, as it certainly does not appear to be the Timmins Group or the county? When the county tried to build a water treatment plant at Sandy River Reservoir, the county held public meetings in each district to explain the project and seek input from its citizens. No such meetings were held concerning this data center. I believe the last number that's being referred to is that the county is going to make $20 million. Well, when are we going to see that money? The county has the county reviewed the downside to the data centers? We have not seen anything from the county regarding the downside. The noise pollution, the air pollution, the light pollution, destruction of the aquifers, and its effect on human wildlife. The noise level is constant. Internal noise levels at a data center can reach up to 96 decibels, well above the 85 decibel threshold considered harmful to human hearing. That's from the Public Health Research Institute in 2025. In addition, the data center will generate fine particulate matter and nitrogen oxide that are directly linked to asthma, heart disease, and respiratory illness. That is 200 to 600 times more nitrogen oxide than a natural gas plant produces. That's taken from the World Resources Institute in February 2026. Per the minutes of the IDA, the approval from the Dominion for electricity could take up to 6 years. When is that going to happen? And from that, further from that, the building for the data center, it looks like from the minutes, is 2033. So when is the county going to recoup the money that we're spending, our taxpayer dollars, that could go for a school? You're spending it on a data center. The only people that, from what I can see, that are making money off of this deal is the Timmons Group and the consultants.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Jenny McIntosh.
Hello, I'm Jenny, and I live off of Lakeview Lane. So I am here to ask a couple questions. Will the data center be a financial windfall or fallout? Legal analysts at Quinn Emanuel, one of America's top litigation firms, warned in March 2026 that data center financing practices now mirror the vendor financing that categorized the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s, when the telecom companies like Nortel and Lucent lent money to their own customers to create an illusion of revenue growth. Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan estimate the technology sector will need to issue approximately $1.5 trillion in new debt over the next 3 years just to fund this. And we are amazed because you and we have been told that this will be something that will be financially strong, but this is not congruent with what we are finding in the modern last 3 months of what the top financiers, or whatever, how we would say that, are putting out. It says hyperscales now spend 45 to 50%, 57% of their revenue on capital expenditure, and $1.5 trillion in debt, spending more than half of all revenue just on construction. These are the financial warning signs that preceded every major economic collapse in modern history. And when it collapses, American taxpayers will be the ones left holding the bag. Analysts warn that rural communities and small towns that accepted data centers, often foregoing decades of property tax revenue in exchange for temporary construction jobs, will be devastated when operators walk away from uneconomic facilities. Unlike manufacturing plants, which retain some residual value, data centers become worthless almost immediately when the specific AI chips they house become obsolete, which happens every 18 to 24 months. Every 18 to 24 months. The equipment inside these billion-dollar buildings becomes obsolete. And when it does, they never come, they are left empty concrete boxes, and we, our town, our community, not the billionaires that have cashed out, we are left with this, the devastation to our own land.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Logan from Persimmon Tree Fork Road. Forgive me, it looks like your last name is Guillot. Okay, great.
My name is Logan Galat, and as he said, I do live on Persimmon Tree Fork Road. My question is about the $12.3 million that the county has pledged towards infrastructure. Most of that infrastructure will be built by annexing land that already belongs to Farmville and Prince Edward County citizens. This includes over an acre of my own property. My question is, what are the parameters that will decide the value of this land that has to be paid for? How is the county able to determine what a fair price is for my land without it being considered a conflict of interest when they, as well as the private company, the Timmons Group, are the ones who benefit from this eminent domain? And will my land be purchased at the same price per square foot that our neighbors have sold hundreds of acres for? Or is my land worth less because I will not willingly give it up to the greed of our government?
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Stan Smith.
My name is Stan Smith. I'm in District 101, Millwood Road. I live about 2 miles roughly west of where the proposed project would be. And I'm neither pro nor against data centers. I want to make that clear tonight. I just want to see us become more informed on what we're talking about. And recently, I have visited 3 very informative articles from reliable sources. And I would like, it's my prayer that everyone would read these articles. The first one is called America Loves Products. They also hate production. That's on LinkedIn, and I'll be glad to provide links to any of these. The second is China is spending billions to stop AI and data centers in the U.S. This particular article is from Newsmax. The third one, a study finds no clear link between data centers and power prices. That is from TED Magazine, which is a distributor magazine, very reliable in the business. So my prayer is that we will all become more informed on what we're talking about here. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. Next, Jim Besden.
Thank you. My name is Jim Besden. I live in the 101 district off Price Drive. Similar to Stan, I'm not here to talk pro or cons against the data center. But one of the things that in my research is that this has been going on since 2020. I mean, the land acquisition, a lot of the votes, a lot of the public hearings, the board meetings discussing it. And my question to the people in this room is, where was the outrage then? I've lived in other localities where things like this have occurred. And it seems like at the 11th hour is when everybody gets up, and often when it's too late to stop the process, at least at the local level. And unfortunately, I believe that's what's going to happen here. But however, that doesn't mean we're out of luck here. What we can do is at the state level, lobby for legislation to put protections in place from the environmental, the noise standpoints and everything. There were 64 bills in front of the 61 bills in front of the General Assembly this past year. Only 15 passed. All of the others are carrying over, and they can be amended as well. We need to be putting our efforts toward our state legislators and getting them to put the protections in place to protect us from the dewatering processes that occur in construction, to put in place statewide requirements for noise mitigation, both on sonic as well as infrasound levels, the lighting mitigation. The county itself right now has their hands tied in a lot of these. And if we just beat up our board over this, it's not going to do a lot of good. We need to be going to the state level, and everyone in this room needs to be contacting Tommy Wright, Tammy Mulcahy, Senator Cyphers, and getting them to lobby in the state to put the protections in place, because yelling at these guys isn't going to do a lot of good. Thank you.
Next, Mike Lampkins.
Hi, my name is Mike Lampkins. I live in District 1, and I probably have a gazillion questions here. Now, I've lived here for 6 years, so I'm a newcomer to Prince Edward County. But what I'm noticing is that during the gathering last week, when we met with Chairman Jones, Senator Cypher, seemed to be a whole lot of, where were you guys back when? Well, we didn't know back when. I'll be honest with you, 2 years ago, I thought data centers were great. What a great idea. We're going to create this infrastructure. We're going to have all this wonderful stuff. It's only been in about the last year that everybody started to hear about light pollution, noise pollution, all that stuff. The thing that bothers me is instead of talking about how remiss we were, maybe you guys could start with another open session, answering questions directly. Not a whole lot of yelling and shouting or anything like that, but just addressing the concerns. My biggest one, frankly, is NDAs. What the heck do data centers have to hide that requires you guys to do an NDA? Now, I mean, I'll completely understand that some things have to be private. I get that. This is business. You don't throw away your plan. But at some point, you guys should tell us why. You don't have to give us specifics, but why do you have to sign an NDA? It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm asking you folks to please, in the very near future, month or two, perhaps you can schedule a public gathering somewhere to address the concerns that may be late, but they're here now.
Next, Doralise Short Jackson.
Good evening. I'm Dorlee Short Jackson. I live in the Lockett District here in Farmville. The data center is what I'd like to speak about because the data center will use 5.5 million gallons per day. Okay? The electricity it will take, we have to also consider that. It's going to be 300 megawatts, a little more than a quarter of a gigawatt. A gigawatt is basically your average lightning bolt. The taxes, the noise, the pollution, especially the pollution that's going to come about this, is something that a lot of people in this county that suffer from any type of lung problems or anything, and even if you don't, you will probably develop it. I mean, there's already been proof that they are that. And so therefore, I respectfully ask that you refuse this data center to come to this county, just like other counties have denied them also. Thank you.
Next, Andrea. Thank you, ma'am. Amaral.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a new resident to Prince Edward County, and I am here, I live on Via Sacra. I am here to voice my opposition to the data center. Those who have spoken before me in opposition have made excellent points that I'm not going to take your time rehashing, just would like my agreement noted. I would especially like to see more transparency and the environmental impact studies addressed. And really, the only thing I have to say is in my opinion, the only data centers we should be investing in are our schools and libraries. Thank you.
Next. Fowler? Cornett? Okay, great.
Hello, my name is Courtney Fowler. I just moved here in September. I live on the Hampton-Sydney campus. I just want to express my disappointment at each of you. This room is packed. It's not packed because we love the sound of your voice or we think you're doing a great job. And to respond to some people who say it's too late, we elect our representatives so that we can trust them to make good decisions without us looking over their shoulders. We're here because you made some bad decisions, and now we have to look over your shoulders. And you're hearing a lot of people bring up light pollution, noise pollution, a lot of facts, a lot of logic, and I'm seeing stone faces, no reactions from any of you. It's almost as if you don't care. If you want to represent the community, then you need to start listening to the people who have come here and told you you're doing a bad job. It's not the end of the story that you're doing a bad job, but you have to start with that. This place is packed because you can't be trusted to make good decisions on AI data centers. You all need to do a better job. Mr. Emmert, you've been looking down at your paper this entire time while people are talking about forever chemicals and all the water usage. Okay, start paying attention to what people are saying, and maybe you won't be feeling like you're being attacked or yelled at. Do a better job, and maybe there will be less complaints from the people. You're supposed to represent us. We're not supposed to be looking over your shoulder and micromanaging you. Thank you.
Winslow Stillman? Winslow Stillman?
Good evening. My name is Winslow Stillman. I live over in the Green South. I've listened to all of this amazing testimony that was prepared, the details rendered. I think that what has been said about contacting people at the state level, engaging more so than evidently has not been the case today, which is why I'm here at all. I'm unprepared because I just found out about this. This is one of the biggest issues in this state, if not the country or the world. First question, who's profiting? Why? This NDA thing, I read about that. Thank you for bringing it up. An NDA? This is a fit. I don't want to get there. There are two
This is the
really.
first we've heard of the NDA. We're trying to figure that out ourselves.
I thank you. Thank you so much. Then thank you. I stand corrected. But there are two considerations. One is historical. This is the crossroads of the birth of America. This is where the Confederacy lost. This is where America, down in Hampton, Sydney, for crying out loud, Patrick Henry and James Madison. This is amazing. And there ain't enough water in the Appomattox to subsidize or to supply these travesties. You don't know what 90 decibels is. I've been in the recording business. 58 decibels is less than what I'm saying. Wait until that starts rumbling through your body. You have no idea. And these people who are benefiting from this, taking away our natural resources, it's astonishing. Please. It's as much a moral issue as anything else.
Thank you, sir. That's everyone who has signed up to speak at this point. Is there anyone from the crowd who would like to speak who didn't get a chance to sign up? Show of hands. All right, yeah. Trey, what you got? Nothing? Okay, all right, great, thank you. I know we've got a couple. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Brown. I spoke last Thursday at the town hall over at the Big Barn. I live over at Sunchase, but I grew up in Northern Virginia where data centers are quite prolific and the air quality there has degraded over time. And they, sorry, let me collect my thoughts. I think that we need to think very hard about whether or not we want to bring a data center into this town because they have shown to not bring a lot of I was reading an article by Michael Hicks, who is an economics researcher, and he found that data centers are not adding jobs, bringing income, or adding tax revenue to the towns that they're bringing into. They are simply sucking resources dry. And I think that in an area like this, where we have a lot of natural wetlands and a lot of areas that are storing water, we need to be thinking about protecting that, because without wetlands, we lose a lot of biodiversity and ways to help keep carbon out of the air and prevent warming overall, as well as the fact that these data centers are known to create heat islands. Arizona is currently dealing with massive heat islands where they are finding 1 to 3 degrees of heat increase, which will create large spikes in the electric bills of the surrounding areas for up to 6 to 10 miles, which is Farmville and a lot of the surrounding area. This heat also makes it harder for plant and crops to grow, and it can dry up wetlands, which will also just affect the general environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next.
I'm David Rogers, moved to the Farmville area a year ago after a long career in IT and also running a smaller, I wouldn't call it a data center, a computer room. It's totally different nowadays. The gentleman who spoke before me triggered something in my memory about Arizona. Earlier in the spring, President Trump had executives from Facebook, Google, all the ChatGPT, whatever, all those large companies into the White House, and they all signed agreements saying that when they build data centers, they're going to supply their own power and take, not have the kind of problem that we're having here necessarily. I don't know about the water and stuff, but as far as the power goes, that's how they recovered. The interesting thing, though, is in Phoenix, Arizona, what they're experiencing right now is, I can't remember if it's Google or Facebook, they're trying to build a data center. They want to supply their own power, but the state regulation, whoever runs the power for that area, isn't letting them do it. They're putting up all kinds of roadblocks because they want to be the ones to supply the power and so forth. So the kind of stuff that Jim was talking about earlier, where things can maybe be accomplished at the state level, we need to make sure that different sides of government, federal versus state and all that, aren't competing against each other. The other thing I want to mention real quick is some costs. I found it really interesting just how much more advantageous it is to be a data center than to be a resident. So as an example, what I'm getting off of the Prince Edward site and so forth is the cost for electricity at the data center is going to be 0.0475 cents per kilowatt hour. Dominion's charging me 0.175 on my last bill, 268% more. Personal property tax is going to be at $1 per $100 for their equipment instead of taxing at the normal rate of $4.20, so that's 420% more. And just, people are talking about the cost of everything. I don't understand how we're selling the land for $12.2 million, but the cost of the infrastructure build between Prince Edward and the city and some other funds are getting to put in the stuff to support all that is going to be $25.5 million estimated. So we're getting not even a 50% return on our investment for the build. That doesn't seem right.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to speak in public comment who didn't get an opportunity to sign up on the sheet? Seeing none. All right. Mr. Stanley, you have some notes for us.
I just wanted to present a little bit of information, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. In July of 2020, Prince Edward County amended its zoning ordinance to add data centers as a by right use within the C1 commercial zoning district and rezoned approximately 280 acres owned by the Industrial Development Authority from A2 agricultural to C1 commercial, creating what is now known as the Heartland Innovative Technology Park, or HIP Park. Both actions were preceded by public hearings before the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors and were approved following the county's review of long-term economic development opportunities. Since Avio entered into an option agreement to purchase the HIP Park property, county staff have been closely monitoring data center development trends across Virginia and have responded to questions and concerns raised by residents regarding potential impacts associated with these facilities. To date, the county has not received a site plan or development application for the project, nor have community development staff engaged in formal site plan review discussions with the developer. Recognizing the public interest in the project and the evolving nature of the data center industry, county staff have been working on and begun evaluating supplemental zoning regulations that would establish additional performance standards and best management practices for future data center projects. Areas under review include noise mitigation, buffering, screening, lighting, generator operations, landscaping, and of course, water usage. Staff are currently examining ordinances that are being adopted right now all across the state of Virginia while existing data center development to identify provisions that may be appropriate for Prince Edward and the Hip Park site. While this review remains ongoing and no draft regulations have been finalized, the county's goal is to ensure that any future data center development is compatible with surrounding properties, addresses community concerns, and reflects industry best practices while preserving the economic development opportunities that the Hip Park was created to support.
Very good. Thank you. At this time, we will have Board of Supervisors comments. Mr. Emmert?
Thank you all for being here tonight. That's, just to give a little bit of information, the reason why I don't watch many of you all is because I can't watch you and take notes both at the same time. I'm not that talented. But I will remember what you said to me. You can be assured of that, and I also have it written down. When this started in 2020, which was 6 years ago, it's been a vast amount of knowledge that has come out since then. Were people in the dark at that particular time? Absolutely. Could there have been some decisions that were made in the darkness? Not darkness as in away from everyone else, darkness in the fact they didn't know. That's possible. But I've noticed that for the most part, everyone that's come up here tonight has either gotten their information or were reading off of one of these. Folks, you got to have data centers to have the information on them. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's the way it is.
This is an AI data center that we're talking about. That's different.
But it's a data center, sir. It's a plain, simple fact of the matter is that in 2020, then when they came to us, it was about a data center. No specifics or anything else. It's a simple fact of the matter that as we progress, we need more of something. I don't have all the answers. I'll be the first to tell each and every one of you that. I don't have all the answers. Anybody that knows me knows I'm as old school as they come. So if we want to get rid of all the data centers and all the cell phones, and I'll be glad to give mine, no problem whatsoever. If you don't believe it, ask anybody that knows me. It's a simple fact. If we want technology, if we want speed, if we want, it has to happen. With some of the comments that were brought up about noise pollution, light pollution, PFAS, I would say to you, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Once again, if you follow the board very much, you'll find out that pretty much every single meeting, I usually add stipulations to about every single thing that comes around. If you've been here very much. If you haven't been here, go back and look. I'm not trying to put you on the spot saying you should have been here. That's not my game. I will say that all of this has been in the public, whether you get the paper, whether you read it on Facebook, whether you read it in social media, however it is posted whenever we have and whenever the Planning Commission does have meetings also. So at that point, I would put the burden back on you and say, show up from the beginning. I thank you for being here tonight, but I will say to you, show up at the beginning. As far as pollution, if you live in Prince Edward County, your pollution comes by my house every day. I live right beside the landfill, own property that joins it. I wasn't so happy when they decided in 1985 to put a landfill beside property that I had. Simple fact of the matter is, I've never seen anyone that's in the crowd tonight come out there and clean up any of mine that may have come from your place, may not have. So I would just say to everyone, it's sometimes easier to lash out at the people you've elected, and you have that right, and I appreciate it. I have broad shoulders, pour it on. If you don't think so, My cell phone is it's there. Evidently, the gentleman there does not like me, and that's all right also. The simple fact of the matter is that with progress comes certain things. And I have the same issues as you all have with a whole lot that goes on in the county, and I fight against it often. I will say to you, if you don't have my cell phone number, it's 434-315-3259. Same one I've had for 31 years, if I'm not making mistakes, all the way back to a bag phone. So there's no reason that you can't get in touch with me. Jerry, it's your turn.
Well, thank you for being here, and most definitely, you had some valid concerns, and I would say to you that we hear those concerns, and without a doubt, that we will try to address each and every one of them, as we had in the past. 2020, I think I was the chairman at that time, back during the year of COVID, and when this process started. And I can tell you from that point to today, this board hadn't been nothing but transparent and follow proper protocol. Now, if you didn't read the paper, as Mr. Embert said, or followed the process, then that's on you. But at no point in time, you can go back as far as you want to, but I guarantee you the board followed proper protocol. What I say to you, transparency is nothing. We here for you and every citizen in Prince Edward to grow and prosper, see this county prosper. We try to bring in economic development to keep your tax rate as low as possible, to take that financial burden off each and every family. But sometimes it's hard decisions. And I'll say to you, we're not perfect. None of us are. But we hear you, and I'll say again, your concerns will be addressed by this board.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to see so many faces here tonight, and I agree with the previous board members. This board takes very serious all things that come before us. We don't just come in and make frivolous decisions. We read, we go to meetings, we try to get the facts about what we're putting before you. And this board has always been open. For at least 18 years, that this board has been open and upfront about what we do. And we do hear your concerns. We will take a look at them, and we will definitely have some form of meeting, or at the next board meeting, any information that we can give to you, we will provide. Thank you.
I would say thanks again for coming. If you don't think David Emmert is paying attention, you're not paying attention. I don't agree with everything, David. I butt heads on a lot of issues, but I think he is really good at paying attention and absorbing information. He can find language in a document this thick in 30 minutes that could be harmful to our place and repair it like nobody I've ever seen. People come out and saying it's going to use $5 million. There is no project. You know, the thing might use no water. It may not be a project. Some of these things use a ton of water. Some of them use almost no water. We can't show you, he and I were talking about, you can't show you a vehicle and let you take a test drive. There is no vehicle. I don't think anything to be able to show you any kind of potential projects is going to be on Chairman Jones's agenda. I'm scheduled to be on it next year to be the chair. I don't think it's going to be on mine. If you all were here really been out of shape about your taxes and say you want our county, Prince Edward, to be more like Mecklenburg, who has the lowest real estate tax in Virginia, they're doing away with the car tax, their data center is paying for 30 to 50% of their budget. Talk to people in Mecklenburg, talk to your farmers in Mecklenburg. They are very happy with their situation. We couldn't, if you all were dying for us to bring it to you, we couldn't for a really long time. We've got plenty of time to build up our arguments, pro and con. We don't know if we're going to have anything. We don't know if we get it, what it will look like. These things are changing very quickly, and we got a long way to go, and I'm glad you came.
Yep.
Thank all y'all for coming, voice y'all's opinion, appreciate it, and hope you have a good week.
I'm glad to see everyone also. And I'll admit, I don't know a lot about a data center. I do know that they are prevalent in a lot of areas, but I heard the comment about 5.5 million gallons of water a day. I'm in the water business, what I do. And I would like to see documentation that it uses 5.5 million gallons a day. I would like to see it, but I understand that this system circulates this water. It's not dumped in a creek somewhere. There are chillers that bring.
It evaporates from the heat.
Well, I deal with companies up in the Shenandoah Valley that actually use evaporation to get rid of their wastewater.
Then why is it in the contract? If they don't want it and they're not going to use it, then why is it in the contract? And why do they want an additional 1.2 million gallons from Farmville? I'm just asking the question because I got the information from online that y'all put out.
Thank you, sir.
From the Farmville Herald.
Thank you.
I'll start again. I don't know all the answers to your questions, but I'm listening to what you say. The company that I deal with, they circulate water all day long with a steam system to evaporate it, to get rid of it. And I can't see how this thing over here would ever match what they do on a daily basis. Now, we're talking about heat generation, use of water, and I'm a simple old country boy. Let's go over to Walmart. Air conditioners, coolers. Do you know what kind of electricity their computers use a day? How much power that one facility uses a day? I would like to see a comparison.
How many employees do they have?
Not as many as they used to have, because now they have self-checkout. They had a lot of employees. Oh, it's not.
Thank you, folks.
not
Thank
your
you.
thing.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
All right, I would, again, like to thank you all for coming. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to hear your concerns. Thank you for bringing up points that we may or may not have considered yet. So thank you for bringing us. Thank you for holding your elected officials accountable. That's exactly what our republic was built on. I echo previous sentiments from the board. 2 points of brief clarification. I have not signed an NDA. No NDA has been presented to me. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I just want that to be clear. Also, there's no documentation that this is an internet versus an AI data center. To my knowledge, there is no difference. Just want that to be on the permanent record that I have seen no documentation in any of the information, in any of the meetings, in any of the meetings with consultants. I've heard nothing that this is specifically for AI versus the internet. I am aware that AI uses a vast amount of computing power compared to traditional internet usage, but we don't have the ability to split this. We don't know who the end user is going to be. There will be a developer, and then there will be a leased space. That's just how these things operate. We will be able to have more information further along in the process if the process does develop. But we are committed to making sure that we have done research into the proper regulations, like County Administrator Stanley has said, so that we're making sure that we are doing our absolute best to provide the safeguards that we need to, no matter what happens with this development. So thank you very much. At this time, we will move on to the next item in our agenda, the consent agenda, approval of the minutes from May 12th, 2026.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries. At this time, we would like to welcome Mr. Daniel Jordan from the High Bridge Trail State Park.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Board, Mr. Stanley, employees of the county, and residents of Southside of Virginia. I'm Daniel Jordan. I'm the park manager here at Highbridge Trail State Park. Hard to believe I'm coming up on 11 years. So, but it has been quite the adventure. I like to look at my tenure here as that I started in kind of phase 1 of Highbridge, and we're entering phase 2. So tonight I want to give you all just a couple numbers of what's going on, but also give you an update on the park and answer any of your questions. First, let me talk to how the park is doing. So we've opened the Visitor Center, as you all know. We opened that on December 28th, 2024. So 25 was our first full year of operation. And I've seen a 40% increase of revenue in the park after the Visitor Center has opened. And so it turns out that people like ice cream and flush toilets. So that's a good thing. Also, right now, our fiscal year, as you probably know, is we're coming to a close. So we run July 1 to June 30th. And as of the end of April, our visitation was over 305,000 people to the trail. And so in just a second, I'll talk the economic impact of it. But you know, Highbridge Trail is really good for the community, and the community is really good for Highbridge. And so it is a pleasure and a joy to serve the community in this, and the fact that that rather large bridge is in the public trust. So with that in mind, just a couple things. So just if we look at DCR, Department of Conservation and Recreation as a whole, we have 44 parks. And that's almost 82,000 acres of parkland. Our budget, so we take just shy of 37 million from the state government, from general fund. That accounts for 0.075%. So your tax dollars is $4.19 per person for parks. So it equates to about 9 cents a person for Highbridge Trail. And so I think we're a pretty good value for people. But also with that, that's why we charge a $5 parking fee, because we do run off of revenue. And so our revenue this last year was 32 million. And so we're not quite 50%, but pretty close. But with that, the economic impact is $382 million for the state. And so if you look at a local level here in Southside Virginia, the adjusted economic impact, and our economic impact study is done by Vince McNeely, who's a professor at Longwood, and so he does all the state statistics for us. But it's $13.46 million is what Highbridge brings to the community. It equates for 149 full-time jobs. And then the spending, so resident spending, that are coming to the parks is 8.35 million a year, and non-residents is 5.5. So over $14 million are coming into local economy. So for every general fund dollar, it creates $12.29 in the community. So we greatly appreciate the support and the partnership we have with the county and with the community, because this is your park, and so we're glad to be able to share it. So now with that, just a couple things going on here at Highbridge. First, we are working with y'all to close 3rd Street parking lot out on 3rd Street and Industrial. That parking lot it's a dangerous intersection getting in, and so looking at public safety, we appreciate working with you on that. Also, the next big project we have is River Road Bridge. So when you're leaving Main Street in Farmville, and you go about 9.5 mile, River Road Bridge that goes over Appomattox and River Road, we're going to redeck it. And so it is in need of being refurbished. So July 6th it's going to be closed for a month. So we're going to take it all the way down to the steel and rebuild it. And that's actually 2 local firms, Gecko out of Blackstone, and Brock Construction is going to be redoing that project. So we're going to do a media blitz to make sure the community knows, and I want everyone to know tonight that we will be closed in July, which thankfully in July people like to be in the water, not on a hot trail. So it's a good time to do it. But we will. That's going to extend the longevity of that bridge.
Just that segment? It's going to be closed?
Yeah, just that. So we'll be closed from Main Street to Osborne Road. So anybody can go up Osborne Road. And so we won't have an official detour in place. We will have signage on the Main Street gate that directs people to either River Road parking lot, which is the western access, or the main access at Camp Paradise High Bridge Station. So, but that is slated for about a month. So hopefully it'll take less. The other thing is, very exciting, so we have this new visitor center, and we have exhibits coming in. So when I occupied the space last year, or a year and a half ago, we took all the exhibits from the Heartland of Virginia Visitor Center that we worked with you all on as they refreshed, and we gave those old exhibits a home. Well, we have been working with the design team out of Turkey, actually, and then the fabricators here in Virginia. And so in end of July, beginning of August, we're going to be closed for 2 weeks at the Visitor Center, and we're going to have an interactive exhibit with Richard McClintock's train and telegraph station. There's going to be some soldiers you can talk to. So we will have some revealing of that and ribbon cutting that I'll let you all know details when we get there. And then also, as you're coming into the park, Aspen Hill Road, if y'all have noticed, it likes to grab trash from the community coming to the transfer station. And so, one, I appreciate working with the workforce cleaning that road, but also Friends of High Bridge has adopted that road, and so we do several cleanups a year on it. And so, it's, my idea is that when you come to the park, your visit starts long before you hit the gate. And so when that road is clean, it just helps that prepare people for what they're going to expect. And then lastly, this month June is our busiest month. So we just had a 5K this past weekend. I don't know if anyone ran it, but we had 183 people sign up. And so that's from all over the state that came out. That was our largest number. This weekend, we have our Firefly Festival. We open it up to 850 tickets each night. We pre-sell. Friday is almost sold out. And when I was getting up here, we're 4 tickets shy of selling out Saturday night. But when you look at the economics, we have people that are coming in from Seattle, from Houston, from San Francisco, from the Midwest to see fireflies. And so it's a beautiful resource, and so excited. And that is just so you all know, that's a 2-night event. That is this Friday and this Saturday. Tickets, you have to have advance ticket. They're $20 a ticket, but there's over 25 species of fireflies under High Bridge, and you get to see tens of thousands. And then after that, we have our Night Train 50K on the 3rd weekend. So if you're feeling froggy, you want to run 31 miles at night up to Prospect and back, then we're doing that. We'll have over 300 people come out from all over the U.S. for that as well. And then the last weekend, we have our Gravel Grind time trial bike race. So we are jamming as much as we can into June. So, but that is what's going on with High Bridge. Is there any questions that I can answer? All right. Are you good if I answer any questions of public?
Go ahead.
Yes.
I just want to express my appreciation for the fact that High Bridge exists. Our family used to live in Midlothian, and we had a 100% disabled son that wanted to get out in the nature because that's what he did before he got hurt. So we had a bike built especially for him. We'd go like side by side. I'd strap his feet to the pedals and his arms to the handlebars and stuff. And we would make the effort to come down to High Bridge because that was actually a trail that you could go biking on.
Yeah.
And that trail and just coming through Farmville is where I told my wife years ago, I said, I retired, we're moving to Farmville. So,
Well, welcome to the neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You said the soldiers are going to be there also. Is it going to be Union and
Yeah, so it's going to be, dare I say, AI. So we're going to have 2 AI soldiers. It's closed loop, though. So we'll have just so you know, it's a perspective of April 15th, 1865. So the surrenders happened. So you have a nondescript private soldier on each side. One's going to have his parole papers leaving Appomattox, and one's going to be a Union soldier that's now stationed at Farmville.
get into having reenactments here again?
We don't do reenactments in parks. What we do is encampments and educational programs. And so we followed suit with national parks. So we just did one in April. We'll do one in the fall. And those are all advertised on our website.
They used to do them, I know it brought in a lot of income revenue to the town.
Yeah. So, yeah, we, like I said, we do living history programs for that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank
Thank you
y'all.
for being here.
Yep.
All right, next, Highway Matters, led by Scott Frederick.
Good evening, Chairman and Board. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. To say it was an excellent presentation by High Bridge Trail. I'm the local VDOT guy here for anybody that's new. Our residency is over across from the YMCA on Commerce Road. The residency has about 106 employees that operate out of it. They cover 4 counties, Buckingham, Cumberland, Prince Edward, and Charlotte. We have a area headquarters we call Hampton Sydney. It's over on Route 133, 692 by the college. There's about 22 employees that work out of that. So we take care of the roads for Prince Edward County, do a lot of the planning and maintenance for them. So lately what we've been up to, we've been mowing. We picked up the litter on the secondary routes, and we're just about done mowing the first cutting of the secondary system. And we're switching over to the primaries. We've started picking up litter this week, and the mowers will be following closely behind them. So we have to mow it 7 days, within 7 days of picking up the litter. So if you see the litter get picked up, expect to see the mowers come through. Aside from mowing, we've been patching all throughout the spring and up until now. Most recently, we've been on Olive Branch Road, Peaks Road, Holiday Lake Road, Hicksburg Road. We've also replaced several drainage structures, a couple of very big ones on Poorhouse Road, and then we did a smaller structure on Route 133 there near the college. We've been cleaning out our ditches. We did Route 614 and Route 655, did some ditching along those routes. And then just recently, we discovered that we had a pipe failing on Bloomfield Road. I wish Miss Pride was here tonight. I'd be able to tell her about that, but we're going to be out there tomorrow on Bloomfield fixing a pipe. So there's a temporary patch on it right now. Tomorrow we're going to make it a permanent fix. Throughout I guess I've updated a little bit at the last couple of meetings about some tree removal on 460, but we're finished now with that tree removal there by the asphalt and concrete plant where we opened up the sight distance at the intersection where the industrial equipment comes in and out of the 2 plants. And then also, since the last meeting, we've removed some trees from what we call the clear zone along 460. So there's a certain amount of room where a car needs to be able to have a chance to recover if it runs off the road. There was about 50 large trees all throughout the median that they considered in the clear zone. Traffic engineering and our roadside, call it our roadside crew, but they manage the vegetation for the district, which covers 10 counties. So they made a decision that we needed to take those trees down just to open up that clear zone and give a chance for a car to recover should it run off. So if anybody's asking about that, that's what that was all about. We're hoping to also, I guess in the coming, something that's to come in the future, we're going to start widening again on Abilene Road. So that's also in Miss Pride's district. She's missing, I guess, a good update from me tonight. But we've been chipping away at widening Route 604, which is Abilene Road. Every year we made a plan, VDOT and the county, to take off. We're cleaning up the edge on 604, and we're adding 2 feet to each side. So when we get done, because we cleaned it up, we lose a little bit, and then when we add back, we end up about 3 feet wider than the existing road. So for the last several years, as funding becomes available, we've been chipping away at widening the road. So July 1st, we're hoping to start. We're going to start. So it sounds like a weird way to do this, but we've been coming from Prince Edward County with VDOT forces, and then we're working our way back from 15 with a contractor. But so we're actually going to start where we left off, coming from Charlotte County, and we're going to go to Chapel Road, and then coming the other way, we're going to pick up where we left off with the contractor. We're going to head back towards Allen Farm Road. When we get done doing it this year, we're going to have about 2 miles left. So then we're hoping we'll finish this project up next summer. So, and then the plan for anybody that's in the room when we get done widening Abilene Road, we're gonna do the same thing to Meharon Road next. So it's a multi-year process to get through with the amount of funding I have to do this type of improvement, but I think we have a good plan, and just wanted to update everybody on that. So that's all I came prepared to speak on tonight, but if the board has questions, comments, or concerns, I'd be happy to take those.
Any questions for Mr. Frederick?
Scott, have you heard any more from the tree company on Singleton Road?
So far, I haven't, but I'll have to try to reach out to them.
People are still calling about that. I'm sure Lou gets more than I do, but people want to know why that hadn't been cleaned up yet.
Okay, yeah, after our last meeting, I'd reached out to them, and I thought I made some progress, but so far, they haven't showed back up, but I need to try to keep that line of communication going.
They are back in the area working for someone else, so that maybe they'll, if you press
Yeah,
a
that
little-
seems like, yeah, that makes sense, yes. So thank you for bringing that up.
Moore Road down at the creek, I'm not so sure if one of your pipes is collapsing there. It's a serious dip in the road.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at that, thank you.
Scott, one more, Peaks Road, just north of Holiday Lake Road. It said the drainage was bad there when we got the last rain. We have not had enough rain since then to do so, but if you would check that, I know they've worked on it 2 or 3 times.
Okay, you said Peaks Road near Moore Road?
It's just about, probably 150 yards north of Holiday Lake Road,
Oh, apologies.
before you get to Chinkapin.
Gotcha.
Got the edge of the road, Mount Pleasant, Verso, and New Bethel to Town Hall. Those need to be addressed.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Anything else?
Don't lose my paper I gave you.
Yeah, I touched base with
All right.
Supervisor Jenkins
Just
before the
making sure.
meeting. He brought up several items as well, but we'll get those addressed for you.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Frederick.
I got a question for you. I'm sure you've been, Route 11, it runs up down the side of 81.
Yes, sir.
And it just makes the most common sense, it's probably why it's not used everywhere else. They got 3 lanes, and they go 2 lanes this way for a while, and they go 2 lanes this way. And so instead of moving a road like 15, which got more traffic than these, and all the way down to Buckingham, we've got the Amish going up and down there. So my point is, how come they don't utilize that common sense of not making it 4 lanes, but making it 3 lanes, so you got 2 going this way, if there's a long truck in front of you, all you gotta do is wait, and then you'll get your chance, so how do you do that deal?
That's a complicated question, but I guess, I mean, I don't be put on the spot. It would be a very large construction project just to add 1 lane. So, I mean, throughout the state, they do a lot of planning. If it ever becomes evident that the need is to do that, then it would become part of our plan.
Seems like 15 and 45 is a 2-lane road that's overused, and we got, there's no place to pass, so it makes it dangerous. If you added 1 more lane, it wouldn't be as expensive as making it 4 lanes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but that same measure, I spent some time in Ireland last year, and all the 2-lane roads in rural areas have super wide shoulders. And it's really easy just to, and they actually moved over and let me go, or I moved over and let me, but it wasn't a competition, But that was really nice too. It's kind of the same effect. It's kind of really wide shoulders to be able
Well,
to.
we've had a lot of Amish accidents.
Yeah.
and So we need to widen the road and make another lane and do something, and it just seems like that's a common sense way of accommodating traffic.
Look, we got one more question.
Yes, sir.
Lee Lackey, I'm in Supervisor Gilden's district. Also a member of the Company 6 Darling Heights Fire Department. This may have been brought up a month ago. This may not be the correct forum to bring this up, but Recently, the bridge crosses Buffalo Creek on Douglas Church Road was lowered. was
Weight
rated
rated, yes, sir.
13 ton, 10 ton. Most of our apparatuses will not be able to go over that.
Okay.
So that, for the community, for us serving that people on Douglas Church Road, that is it's going to lengthen the amount of time for us to get there.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I just
Yeah.
wanted to
So
bring that up.
the bridges, I mean, they are inspected on a regular cycle, and when they find like a deficiency, whether it be corrosion or rot or whatever might be going on.
Well, I saw that bridge was like built in the 1930s.
Yes,
so
sir, it's an older structure.
It's done its time.
So, yeah, they weight rated to keep it open and safe, and the board had actually asked me in the past if we had a plan in place to get the weight rating back up, and so far we don't. I guess now that they have it addressed, they're working on a plan still in the bridge office out of Lynchburg.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Frederick.
Thank you.
At this time, the board invites Ms. Cheryl Stimson up to introduce our public hearing.
Scott, don't forget about Junction Canal. Scott?
Mr. Frederick,
Hey, Scott.
final note,
Don't forget about Junction Canal.
Junction Canal Road.
We drove a bulldozer across our new road.
Oh, yes, sir. We're reaching out to the property owner.
Thank you.
We don't have any evidence, but we're gonna.
Asked him not to do it
Yes, sir.
again.
Thank you for
Good.
bringing that up.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
At the May 12th, 2026 board meeting, the board authorized a public hearing for the attached proposed ordinance, which would enable the board to authorize payment of a one-time bonus payment equal to 2% of the employee's base salary on June 30th. As the board is aware, the FY26 county budget does not include a 2% bonus payment for all county employees and officers, to include those not covered by the comp board, and both full and part-time. In accordance with Section 15.2-1508 of the Code of Virginia as amended, the bonus must be approved by an ordinance which requires a public hearing. The public hearing notice was published in the May 22nd and May 29th editions of the Farmville Herald. And there was nobody online when I came up here.
No one signed up yet.
No one signed
No
up?
one signed up? Okay. Well, I will still formally open the public hearing. No one has signed up. Would anyone from the gallery like to speak to this question? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Mr. Stanley, do you have any notes to add?
Nothing other than about a third of the cost is being paid by the state compensation board for our comp board employees. Those are employees partly in the sheriff's office, commissioner of revenue, treasurer. So it reduces the overall cost of the county.
Is this a state mandated bonus?
It's state mandated for those employees, but the board, as they've typically done, have decided to extend that to all employees. And the reality is, even the sheriff's office, you have some employees that are partly covered by the state and some that are county only. And so from an equity standpoint, the board has seen to it to give everyone the same bonus that the state has mandated.
In most cases, they don't even know they're covered by the state.
correct.
Right? They're just like everybody else.
All right.
I move that the Board of Supervisors approve the ordinance as presented, authorizing the one-time bonus to eligible county employees and officers in accordance with the Virginia General Assembly.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
the-
Cheryl.
From the employees.
Thank you all.
Welcome, Ms. Puckett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On page 119 of your board pack, item 14 is the solid waste landfill engineering contract. The county's procurement policy requires that contracts in excess of $50,000 be approved by the board. As you will see, the FY26 contract was $224,000. This is a reduction by about $30,800. But these are all of the services that help us manage the environmental and the engineering that's required for the Prince Edward County landfill. So we would request approval of the FY27 contract in the amount of $193,200 and authorization for the county administrator to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
Mr. Chair, we jumped over a couple items on the
Oh.
agenda, so I'm going to ask Sarah to take a quick seat. If we can go back to item 12. She's trying to get out of here. I'm not going to let her out that early. Item 12 is the appropriation of the FY27
Scuba.
Prince Edward County budget. On April 21st, 2026, the board approved the FY27 budget for Prince Edward County. The resolution adopted at that date listed a budget total of $131,660,584, which included a school budget of $35,857,843 and a school cafeteria budget of $1,885,000. While the board approved the FY27 budget, funds cannot be expended until appropriated. Attachment 1 is the annual appropriation, a resolution of appropriation, which empowers county officers to expend and manage funds in accordance with the policies contained in the resolution. Attachment 2 provides the specific amounts to be appropriated by department or fund. Staff would also like to call the board's attention to the addition of Section 10 of the appropriation resolution. While it has historically been the county's practice to require volunteer fire organizations to submit invoices or reimbursement requests for eligible expenditures rather than receive a lump sum distribution, this provision has not been previously codified within the resolution. The addition of Section 10 establishes a formal policy, provides consistency among all organizations receiving county appropriations, and provides clear guidance regarding the administration and carryover of fire and EMS funding. In your packet is the annual appropriation resolution, and secondly, listing the FY27 appropriations by department or fund, and there's a sample motion there on page 103.
Move that the Board of Supervisors approve the annual resolution fiscal year 27 appropriations, appropriate the fiscal year 27 budget for each county department and fund.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries. Welcome back, Cheryl.
Thank you. First item up for our discussion is for life appropriation. The county has received funds in the amount of $18,368.48 on May 14th, 2026 from the Virginia Department of Health for the 2024 For Life program calendar year. These funds pursuant to Section 46.2-694 Code of Virginia shall be used for emergency medical services only. The board is asked to approve appropriation and issuance of funds as follows. HS First Responders, $2,000, Meharry Rescue, $4,092.12, and Peavers, $12,276.36.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, just so that everyone knows, that is 2024, not current. Correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that clarification. All right.
Those funds were from 2024.
Question?
No, that was just, she was clarifying.
Funds were from what, 2024?
Correct.
It's correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
not current because it's not in,
Run behind.
well, it's not quote unquote in place right now, but they always run behind, just so that the public knows that that money is not, it's already quote unquote been allotted for by the state, but not by the county.
All right. Very good.
Next is an FY26 school appropriation. The Board of Supervisors has received a request from the Prince Edward County School Board to appropriate federal and state funds totaling $225,983.30 for the school operating budget as described below. A required local match in the amount of $109,861 is associated with the state SOQ funds. And that SOQ funds is for a bonus for the schools, as provided in the state assembly as well.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Number 15, appointments, citizen volunteers. Ms. Puckett?
Page 135 of your board pack. Each year, typically in June and December, the board makes appointments to positions, boards, and commissions that are typically filled by the solicitation of citizen volunteers. So you have the Board of Appeals of Building Code, Industrial Development Authority, Social Services Board, Central Virginia Regional Library, and Piedmont Senior Resources Boards. We did not receive any applicants for that, but you have applicants for the other positions. And those are included in your board pack.
All right, I will entertain a motion following some discussion as to the Social Services Board and the Central Virginia Library Board. Discussion as to a selection between the, okay.
Crystal, can you give Supervisor Emmert your board pack? Can you give him your board pack so that he can have it while they're fixing his, thank you.
You're straight?
I'm ready.
Okay. So for Social Services Board, the motion will need to determine between Melanie Rhodes and Gloria Lockett.
I make a motion for Gloria Lockett.
And then also the Central Virginia Regional Library Board between Gloria Lockett and Elizabeth Kosovar Weidinger. All right. So your motion, Mr. Townsend, is for Lockett for Social Services Board and Weidinger for Library Board,
Yes.
and Zeller for BZA and Brad Watson for IDA.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. Emmert?
I'm a yes.
Okay. Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries. All right.
Mr. Chairman, if you would now flip to page 147 in your board pack. These are appointments to outside agencies. Members of the Board of Supervisors typically serve on these specifically. The two where the Virginia's Heartland Regional Industrial Facilities Authority and the STEPS Board. Mr. Townsend just happens to serve on both of those for the county, and he is eligible for reappointment.
That's what I like to
So
hear.
moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Abstain.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins? Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
Harrison, do we have, Mr. Chairman, sorry about that, do we have someone, no one has applied, I take it, for the Piedmont Senior Resources? Okay, so
I
we,
think I can look for something. I think I may have somebody maybe interested in doing that.
just because it's vacant, I mean,
Yeah.
we need to revisit that if someone applies. Is that, I guess that
that
application's
you-
open for.
If we get that filled, we'll put it back on the
Yes, sir.
agenda.
All we need is a citizen volunteer
That's what I need.
Public service announcement, folks. We
Volunteer.
welcome applications for volunteer. There are certain boards where we have to appoint citizens to represent the county in community organizations where there's tax funding involved. And so it's one of the many opportunities that we have as citizens to get involved. So we welcome your applications to that. Mr. Stanley.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, item 15C is appointment Community Policy Management Team. As the board is aware, to receive CSA funds for the Commonwealth of Virginia, Section 2.2-5204 of the code directs every county to establish a community policy management team. Membership of the CPMT is specified in Section 2.2-5205 of the code to include one elected or appointed official, which is currently myself, the local agency heads of their designees of the following: the Community Services Board, the Juvenile Court Services Unit, the Department of Health, Department of Social Services, and the local school division. A representative of a private organization or association of providers for children's or family services, if such organizations are located within the locality, and a parent representative. CPT is requesting the board approve the reappointment of Ms. Samantha Bain of United Methodist Family Services as the provider representative for the CPMT. Ms. Bain is the Family Systems Coordinator for the South and West Region of UMFS. She has extensive experience in intensive home services, therapeutic day treatment, and mentoring within the community, and she had served on the CPMT as the private provider representative for several years. There is no expiration term date. CPMT is also requesting the board reappoint Ms. Latina Giles of Farmville to serve as the parent representative. The appointment will be effective immediately. There is no term expiration date for that term either. This is a suggested motion on page 149.
These two people are in it already, correct?
Yes, sir. And they show up.
Exactly.
That's good.
But if there's no term expiration, why do we have to reappoint?
Cheryl? We're talking about CPMT appointments, and there's no term expiration, so you just appoint. David's question was why we had to reappoint, I guess.
Because the last time we did it 3 years.
Here we go. We got it. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries.
Next item, item 15D, is an appointment for the Family Assessment and Planning Team, or FAPT, which also works with CSA program. Section 2.2-5207, the code requires each community policy management team to establish and appoint one or more family assessment and planning teams as the needs of the community require, unless the required representatives of each FAPT. FAPT shall include the following community agencies, to include Community Services Board, Juvenile Court Services Unit, the Department of Social Services, the School Division, a parent representative, and at the discretion of the CPMT, a representative of a private organization or association of providers for children's or family services and other public agencies. Mr. Glenn Folks from Folcom Counseling has been the private provider representative for the past several years. CPMT team has requested that Mr. Folks continue as the private provider representative. CPMT will be soliciting applications to fill the vacant parent rep position and will bring the appointment to the board once someone has been selected for approval. The appointment will be effective immediately, and there's no time limit on the appointment.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. The motion carries. All right, number 16, Trey Pyle.
Good evening, Chair,
Good
Board.
evening.
Before you is a loan request from Prospect Volunteer Fire Department. In 2011, the Board of Supervisors approved the creation of the Fire Association Financial Fund. At the time, the board voted to provide a total of $600,000 to members of the Fire Association for low-interest loans for the purchase of apparatus and other equipment. Section 15.2-19954 of the Code of Virginia authorizes any locality to make loans to any nonprofit organization providing firefighting or rescue services. The master agreement signed by all volunteer fire departments and rescue squad contains the procedures by which the fire association will request funds to be borrowed and for which organizations in the county would create a promissory note, which provides that in the event of a default, each member of the association guarantees repayment of the loan. Prospect Volunteer Fire Department is requesting a loan of $250,000 to fund and assist in purchasing and refurbing a 2009 Seagrave engine. The total cost of this purchase and refurb is $495,000, with Prospect providing the additional funds. At its May 2026 meeting, the Fire Association approved the request from Prospect Volunteer Fire Department for a loan of up to $250,000 to finance the fire truck from the Fire Department Capital Expenditure Financing Fund, Attachment 2. Currently, there's only one outstanding loan on record for Hampton-Sydney Volunteer Fire Department for $100,000 that was taken out a few months ago. The total balance prior to Hampton-Sydney was about $643,000, so there should be $543,000 available for usage. And I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
A new replacement, 1.2.
I believe that last time when I talked to Mr. Redford, he's in the audience, it was $1.2 million to buy this truck brand new.
We have a question from the gallery.
I have a question. One of my things about the data center is in one facility that had a data center, they've had 84 fires in the last couple of years. And some of the fires have taken up to 24 hours to put out. And we are looking at having 5 data centers. How would that impact you? And how would that impact our fire department if we only have one person full-time and we are not ready for such centers and they don't know what kind of centers they're going to be bringing in?
I'd have to review that data to see the magnitude of the fire, what type of fire it was, and what was the outcome of the source. Currently in Prince Edward County, we do not have any paid staff. So,
Do you have a problem with the small rural communities? They can't keep up.
yeah, I welcome you to send that information to me, and I'll be glad to review it, but I can't give you an answer without knowing the circumstances behind each fire.
Does the,
Concern for us, so that would take a lot of our manpower and put out a data center where you could be, where you could be in other areas.
It's very possible. I'd have to review the circumstances.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Pyle? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, board.
All right, Mr. Stanley. Position description.
Page 167 of your packet. So as the board is aware, for the last couple of years, the Public Safety Committee, comprising Supervisor Lou Gillum, is the chair, Supervisor David Emmert, Supervisor Jerry Townsend, has been recommending the expansion of the Emergency Management Coordinator position to a Director of Public Safety position. In the FY27 county budget, which has been approved and the appropriation appropriated, the board included funding for the position. The Public Safety Committee met earlier this evening and has recommended the draft position description was included in your packet, starting on page 168. Unanimously recommended that. And with that, both Trey and I will be happy to answer any questions. I think it's fair to say that everybody knows Trey's been doing this job for the last couple of years, and it's about time that he gets recognized for that.
Any questions from the board? Otherwise, I would accept a motion to approve the draft position description.
So moved.
So,
All right. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes, was it effective date July 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Was there a clarifying point, Supervisor Emmert?
I'm with you.
Okay, all right. We're in agreement. Ms.
Yes.
Cooper-Jones? Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Trey, thank you for all that you do for Prince Edward County. You are a tremendous asset to the community. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Moving along to number 17, we have the Properties Committee report. Mr. Stanley?
Just here, hold for just a second. So if you go to page 173, the Properties Committee this evening took up committee, including Supervisor Emmert, who chairs the committee, Supervisor Gillum, and Supervisor Townsend, met this evening to review attached bids for the replacement of the roof of the Verso Community Center Pavilion. Their recommendation is to award a bid to Lipscomb Electrical and Contracting LLC in a total amount of $39,400, and I would say include a 5% contingency just in case we
Correct.
run into something we're not expecting. Funding for the project will be paid for through payment from the Tobacco Trail siting agreement from Strata Clean Energy, specifically for the Verso Community Center. And a draft motion is on the.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
With it being with the 5%, correct, Doug?
Yeah, 5% contingency.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. County Administrator report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, a few items I want to hit on. First, the county has received a notice from the Department of Historic Resources that the Green Bay School has been nominated for the National Register of Historic Places and the Virginia Landmarks Register. Currently, we have 17 properties so recognized in the county, so I'll keep you posted on that application. The Tobacco Commission recently approved a request for a $1 million grant for site development at the Prince Edward County Business Park. This is back over behind where the VDOT office is located. We now await to see if we are awarded matching funds from the Virginia Business Ready Sites Program. At that point, the board will be in a position to make a decision whether to move forward with that project. Fire and rescue study, I'm pleased to report that Trey and I attended the Department of Fire programs board meeting today in Richmond, and they approved the request to perform a study of our county fire and EMS system, including operations, staffing, funding, training, equipment, and long-term service and delivery needs. Study should start somewhere in July and hopefully will be completed this fall. And they typically, now they're only doing 4 of these studies statewide, so congrats to Trey for putting the application together. Our Planet Network broadband project, as of May 1, 370 miles of middle mile fiber and conduit have been installed in Prince Edward County with 4,019 passings completed, and we had 95 customer installs just in the month of April. That's the highest total to date. Total installs to date, 1,358 installs, about 56.84% complete. I will say in this, some of this has been completed, but during this month, they're working on fiber installation on 22 Road, Vista Drive, Elam Acres Drive, Pineview Lane, Legacy Drive, and Allen Farm Road and Abilene Road. So you should see quite a bit of activity out and about. Our landfill scale house project, Labella has resubmitted a site plan to the Community Development Office for review. After addressing initial comments, I believe today Mr. Love got comments back out. So hopefully that project will be moving forward here in the next month or so. Peavers, I know board has heard from me before, but we're pleased that we've been able to work things out. I see our Peavers representative in the back. It's been able to work it out so that starting July 1, we're anticipating the ambulance to be back out at the Prospect Volunteer Fire Department. This marks an important step forward in enhancing EMS coverage for the western portion of Prince Edward County. While this improvement represents meaningful progress, additional work remains for county staff and Peavers leadership as we continue working together toward a more comprehensive long-term coverage solution. And last thing, I just wanted to we had some comments about NDAs earlier, and I just wanted to address that. So NDAs, and in this case, NDAs with the IDA board and staff are commonplace up front, particularly in a situation like this where you had multiple offers to purchase the property.
So one entity trying to buy the property doesn't want their information shared with the other entity that's competing against them. And we're talking about a $5 billion project. So you're not going to see in the economic development world projects like that without those types of agreements in place. It's public, once the contract is signed, that information becomes public. It's part of the agreement, part of the contract, it's part of negotiating back and forth. But you were not part of that. The IDA board was, and I just wanted to address that comment, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Thank you for your report, sir. The final item on our agenda before we conclude is a closed session to discuss legal counsel.
I move the Board of
matters.
Supervisors convene in closed session for discussion and consideration of the award of public contract for legal services involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews, bidders, and offerers, and discussion of the terms and scope of such contract where discussion is in open session would adversely affect the bargaining position of the negotiating strategy of the public body in accordance with 2.2-3711A29.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. We are now in closed session. All right, at this time, I will entertain a motion to come out of closed session.
I move that we return to open session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmett?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gill?
Yes.
My vote is yes. This time I'll entertain a motion to certify the closed session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmett?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Barring any future business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Did we make the Rubicon? Yes, with the,
Yep. Yep. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmett?
yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. We're adjourned.